Imagine this, you're 50 years old, you live in the UK and you've got no savings. You're thinking, that's it, retirement is impossible. I'll be working until I die. But here's the truth. You're wrong. Retirement is still possible, even if you're starting from zero at 50. In my 24 years as an investor, I've met too many people with financial regrets, mainly at or around retirement age. Trust me, this doesn't have to be you. Today, we'll cover step by step how to go from broke at 50 to financially secure in your mid-60s. Chapter 1, Facing Reality Without Panic. The UK has over £1.9 trillion in current accounts and cash ISAs. This is one of the main reasons why people are struggling in retirement, because they saved and never invested. Just look around at family and friends in their 60s. How many are financially secure and are going to be comfortable in retirement? If you're 50 with no pension, no ISA and nothing saved, you might feel regret, shame or panic. Maybe you've worked hard all your life, but raising kids, paying bills or dealing with setbacks meant saving never happened. That's normal, but here's the truth. You can still have a retirement. In the UK, the state pension alone pays just over £11,500 per year. That's not enough on its own, but it's a start, it's a foundation. If we combine that with even a modest private pension or ISA, you can reach a comfortable income. The key is to stop comparing yourself to 30-year-olds on TikTok boasting about FIRE, financial independence, retire early, or crypto bros bragging about their Lambos. They're just like lottery winners. That's not you. Your goal is financial security and retiring on time. Chapter 2, Defining your retirement number. So what's the number you're aiming for? In the UK, a commonly used guide is from the Pensions and Lifetime Savings Association. They say a moderate retirement for a single person costs about $31,000 per year. Now, if the state pension gives you $11,500, you only need to cover about $20,000 more each year. Using the 4% rule, that means you'd need a pot of around £500,000. Assuming you invested in the S&P 500 and achieved average returns of 10%, you would need to invest £1,200 per month to hit $500k in 15 years. Obviously, in your 30s and 40s, you could invest less to get $500k because you've got more time for compounding to work its magic. So the target is clear. Build up an extra $500,000 in 15 years. Big, yes. Impossible, no. And obviously, you might want more than 30k per year. You might want less. We're all different and we have different goals. Chapter 3, Meet Barbara. Start from zero at 50. Let's bring this to life with a little example. Meet Barbara. She's 50, recently divorced, kids have left home, and she's starting from scratch. No pension, no savings. Her first step, income. The median salary in the UK is around $34,000 per year. With her experience, Barb could reasonably earn $25,000 to $35,000 in an entry-level job. If she retrains or leverages her skills, she could push that higher. But salary alone isn't quite enough. Barb needs to create a gap between what she earns and what she spends. That means cutting housing costs, driving a modest car, meal prepping and avoiding lifestyle creep. She also needs a side hustle. In the UK, that might mean renting out a spare room under the rent a room scheme, tax-free up to $7,500 a year, driving Uber or Deliveroo, tutoring online, freelancing through platforms like Fiverr or People Per Hour, or the option which I've went for in the past is to work overtime. In 2022, I worked every weekend so I could invest aggressively in the stock market and into crypto. Barb's first big milestone, saved $25,000 in cash within 12 to 18 months. This is to buy property, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Just to be transparent, I don't know Barb, I've just made her up. And as always, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice, and the full disclaimer can be found below in the description. Chapter 4, Ruthless Lifestyle Changes. This is where it gets hard. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. As my dad used to drill into me when he would take me on 4-mile runs as a 10-year-old. To retire in the UK from a standing start, you need sacrifice. That means housing. Consider moving to a cheaper area, house sharing or taking in a lodger. Rent is often the biggest expense. Cut it and you're halfway there. Transport. Forget the £400 a month car, finance deals, buy a reliable used car outright, or even better, rely on public transport if possible. Food, meal prep, switch to Aldi, Lidl or batch cooking. It sounds small, but saving £300 a month off your food bill adds up to nearly £4,000 a year. Holidays, forget 2 weeks in Spain every summer. For now, think UK, staycations or budget travel. Remember, this sacrifice isn't forever. It's a sprint of 10 to 15 years to completely change your future. And all of this info is just to give you an idea of what you can do if you need to be aggressive as a 50-year-old with no savings. Chapter 5, the house hack strategy. Now let's talk property. In the US, they love the house hack, but it works in the UK as well. Here's how Barb could do it. Save $25,000, which I mentioned in Chapter 3. Buy a $250,000 terraced house with a 10% deposit. Live in one bedroom, rent out the others under the rent-a-room scheme. If each lodger pays £500 a month, that's £1,000 income, roughly, enough to cover most of the mortgage. Suddenly, Barb is living almost rent-free while building equity in the property. Alternatively, she could Airbnb a spare room or even convert part of the house into a self-contained unit. The point is, in the UK, housing is expensive, so turning it into an asset rather than just an expense is a game changer. I'm a property investor and I have 6 properties that I rent out. This is going to be a big part of my own retirement plans. I have a feeling that if Barb was able to do some sort of house hack, it would really help her save $500k in 15 years. What I was talking about in Chapter 2. Chapter 6, meet Sally, the higher income starter at 50. Her advantage, higher income. Her problem, spending it all. For Sally, the strategy is different. 1. Maximise pension contributions. In the UK, you get tax relief on contributions. If Sally contributes $20,000, the government tops it up to $25,000 instantly. That's free money. 2. Catch-up contributions. At her age, she can put up to $60,000 a year into a pension if she has the earnings. 3. Cut lifestyle costs. On $60,000, if she can live on $30,000, she can save $30,000 a year. Do that for 10 years, invest it into an S&P 500 or FTSE All World Index fund, and she could build just under $500,000. Do it for 15 years, and it's over £900,000. Combine that with the state pension, and Sally is on track for a comfortable retirement. But if she saved $30k per year for 10 years, she could easily retire early. Chapter 7, what should you invest into? If you were 50, I would personally keep things simple and stick to the S&P 500. But if you want some more options, see below for a recent video. Or you might want to be more aggressive and invest into a high-risk asset like Bitcoin. Not for everyone, as most people don't understand it and can't handle the volatility. But if you can put £500 a month into Bitcoin for 10 years, it could lead to a very comfortable retirement. What about you? Would you invest into Bitcoin, or would you prefer lower risk with low cost index funds? Summary. So, can you retire at 50 in the UK with no savings? Not tomorrow, but if you commit to the plan, yes, you can still retire on time. You need to first think about your goals, like what do you need each year in retirement? Then you can plan accordingly. Now I want to hear from you. Are you starting late? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Downsizing, taking in a lodger, or maxing out your pension? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else, and share it with someone who needs a bit of help. I've given you some examples of what you can do if you're starting to invest late, but if you want more info, like exactly how to invest and what to invest into, I've just published a new playlist on this channel called How to Retire Early, Step by Step, made up of 5 easy to follow videos, and importantly, gives you all the info you need to retire early. All I would say is to watch the videos in order and take some notes. Otherwise, you're not learning and you probably won't invest your way to early retirement.